earlier this year in 2014, if I am not mistaken, and it is part of the line of Tonkin Caterpillar wheel loaders that they have produced. This model is great just to start out with. It's nice to see a good step up from what we've seen in the past from Northcott, which has been a disappointment. We have seen the 950K, which you can see here, the 966, and the 972, as well as the 988K. I do have all these models, and I am going to be doing reviews of them. In this review, you will see the featured 950K, and you will also see some movement from the 972K, as I will be showing the quick coupler feature, as I have the pin already loosened up on it. You will also be seeing the Northcott Caterpillar 950H wheel loader as a comparison to this model, and really compare the quality from Northcott to Tonkin. So without further ado, let's dive right into the review. Functionality of this model is pretty decent. The loader's arms do raise to that height, which is actually pretty reasonable. I'm not sure if it would reach a dump truck. I do not have one right beside me. The dumping radius could be a little bit better, but the linkage kind of limits it, as you could probably see. The linkage does limit it, as it is the dog bone linkage. The bucket does somewhat tilt back, but not really. It just stays level, but it does have a little degree of tilt. Really, there is, I think it is good that at least there's some functionality with it, but it could be better in all honesty. And it does have a sand bucket on it with a straight blade, as you can tell, and up top you can see some finely detailed guards on top of the bucket. Underneath you do have some decent bolt detail and some wear plating, which is decent and nice to see. And there you can see under the linkage, and a nice Tonkin Replicas logo right there. And as you can see, it says made by Tonkin Replicas and the model number itself. Here we have some lights which are just painted silver, but it still does give a nice reflective glow to it, as you can see. And you do have some hydraulic lines running to the cylinder, which you can see there. And up top here, let me pick it up. There you can see a little bit. I guess that's wear plating or texture plating. I'm not an operator of a loader. I don't know why you would do that. Maybe if you're just cleaning the windshield. But speaking of windshield, you can see the windscreen wiper right there, which is very decent. And just to give you a little look inside the cab, it appears to have Caterpillar on it, but not sure. And then there you can see some more lights. Speaking of the cab, that's what we're going to head to next. The glass is obviously plastic, and back here you do have some finely painted mirrors, which is painted the same as the front headlights. The fenders over here are metal, which is a great step up, and it's nice to see that there's some warning decals right there. The tilt of the machine, or the articulation, it will go that far and that far, which will lead to some pretty decent angles on it. Also on the back, it's nice to see that suspension, but it does not have it on the front, which is kind of expected. These handrails are actually metal, which is very nice to see, especially on a loader of this size. That's a great little thing for Tonkin, and you can see there's some plastic ladder up, and also some small graphics right there. Allow me to focus. It does have some small graphics like right there, as you can see. Unfortunately, unlike the 950, it does not have opening cab doors, but really I would not expect that. Going around to the back, let me readjust. You do have a very small windshield wiper back here, as you can see. Two rear work lights, and up top all the handrails are plastic, which is okay. You do have an exhaust, and your air cleaner is right there. It's very nice that they actually painted this area here and actually gave it separate texturing, which is great to see. And it's nice to see some good details atop the roof of the cab, and it's nice to see an antenna, which is kind of highlighted Tonkin's loader line in my case, or in my opinion. Back here you can see the rear work lights, and this here is plastic, but that is okay. It does feature a cat logo right there and a hitch right there, as well as two rear work lights. On this side it is basically the same, but there is a few differences. As you can see, there's a little box right here, which I really don't know what it goes to, but also another metal handrail and some more on that. I mentioned earlier that this machine does have a quick coupler. I will now demonstrate that with the sister 972, since I mentioned before that I already had the pin loose. So all you have to do is undo this pin, which it is kind of a struggle to do. Let me readjust. But all you have to do is loosen up this pin, take that out, and it's easy enough to take the bucket off. It's nice to see that the coupler itself is plastic, but the paint is made to match. And looking at the bucket, it does have some good details, including nice hooks. Now, obviously, as I mentioned before, this is the 972, which you can see here, which is finally modeled, and just like the 950, just a little bit bigger in size. Well, model-wise, of course. Move that off to the side, and actually I'll do a quick little comparison of the two. As you can see, they are a little bit bigger. Now then, I will put the bucket back on in a little bit, but now I want to compare models to the 950H. One thing I will have to say is that each model has their ups and downs, but mainly the Tonkin model has its ups. It's nice to see that they actually paid a lot of attention and put a metal roof on this and metal handrails, unlike the thick and ugly plastic ones which you see on the Northcott. The windshield wiper looks a lot better on this one, I will admit, and it's nice to see a smooth bucket. Coming back here to the sides, it's nice to see bigger graphics on this one, as you can obviously tell. And, well, Northcott's grills, or what they call grills, really do suck. Going around back, I think the look of it looks a heck of a lot better myself, but really that's just probably from the design of the real machine. I'm not sure. I've not seen either one of these machines in real life, interestingly enough. One thing though is that the Tonkin replicas does not have a door, but it's also kind of a good thing. I would rather have a non-functioning door system on my 950K than a 950H, which doors could easily break off since they are plastic. And obviously the hydraulic lines. One thing I hate about them is the paint chips off of them very easily, which you can see there. So really all around, I will have to say that the 950K is a lot better than Northcott's attempt at a wheel loader of this size. The functionality could be a little bit better, but in all honesty, though, Tonkin has really mastered these loaders detail-wise, and they have really pumped a lot into them, especially seeing metal handrails featured so early on into their Caterpillar license career, as I would call it. It's very nice to see great details in the rims of the machine and accurately detailed tires and very good small graphics. It's also great to see quick couplers involved, and really I would have to give this, even though it lacks a little bit of functionality, I would give it an 8 out of a 10. In Crane's etc. terms though, I would say this is a highly recommended model. So hopefully you enjoyed this review, guys. It really is a good model. It's really worth it, I will say. So if anyone from Tonkin Models is watching, you guys did a great job on this. Highly recommended. And thanks for watching this review, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Check out my other reviews. I'm not gonna be getting that many new models for a couple months, so I can catch up on the reviews. I still got like 40 reviews to do and make, and really I'm gonna try to do one per day, so it's really gonna take me over a month. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out.